Hey, you there. Thank you for watching, and welcome to Forge Lines Forever. Today I have a 6v6 custom match here on the most amazing Roxas map generator. So let's go ahead and introduce our teams and our players. We'll start with Team 1 on the northwestern side of the map, then we'll end with Team 2 on the southeastern side of the map. Take a look at Team 1's frontline players. We have in orange, the color orange, it is the Aeon of Kabanoff. He is a 1600. And next door to him in rust, it is the Cybran of Demot, depending if you pronounce the T or not. He is a 1400, again, as a Cybran. In the middle here, we have in Regal Purple another Cybran. It is Moy playing as a 2100, again, as a Cybran. In lighter strike pink to his west, we have a Zeros playing as a Neon. He is a 2200. He is the highest rated player on Team 1 and in the game. Overall, to his north, we have in Light Oak 10, it is Hasty playing as a Cybran. He is a 1500, and rounding off Team 1, we have in Barbie Pink, it is Dorset playing as a Cybran. He is an 1100. So Team 1 side of the map consists of only 3 Cybrans and 3 Aeons, no Seraphim and no UEF tech for Team 1. Moving on to Team 2's frontline, we have in Chevy Crimson, it is the Cybran of Okpuk. He is an 1800. In Batman Gray to his east, we have the first UEF of the game. It is CO4s. He is a 1600. In the southwest direction in the middle, we have in Royal Blue, it is Lieutenant Lich playing as an Aeon. He is an 1800. In the forest green, best color, of course, it is Orb playing as an Aeon. He is a 2100. He is the highest rated player on Team 2. And running off the backline, we have in Tropical Ocean Blue, it is Unleash the Beast. He's playing as a UEF. He is an 1100. And then rounding off Team 2, we have another Aeon. It is Puck Jr. playing in Pac-Man Yellow as a 1700. So over Team 2 side of the map, they have, again, the only UEF players of the game, which is 2. They have 1 Cybran, and then they have 3 Aeon with 0 Seraphim, which means for the entirety of this match, there are no Seraphim players. Apologies to those that love to make grand entrances, but just, again, for one reason or another, show up late. Hopefully you enjoy the game nonetheless. And for these 12 players in this match, let's take a look at their reclaim situation before they scoop it all up. Currently sitting at 21,000 mass in reclaim. It's shy of 2K mass, but it's pretty close, 1.8-ish, I think. Math in my head, 1.7, 1.8, something like that. So decent amount of mass to be scooped up, I should say, around the map. Looks like the majority of it kind of resides within this kind of area here. There is some on the exterior sides of the map, not really a lot near the main bases, but this map is very disjointed. You can see there is an avenue straight down the middle to the other side of the map. There's avenues along the edges of the map as customary. But there really isn't a lot of other ways to get to the middle of the map, or the other side of the map, I should say. There are these channels here, but very tight corridors there. It looks like you could jump this, but you cannot. Probably not. Yeah, I think that's a little bit deeper, maybe. Definitely not the T4 units can go across that, even if the maybe T1s can, if they can. If is good. Take a look at where these players are headed off to in this game, and we'll talk about their mixes afterwards. We do see some movement down the southern side for Team 1. Looks like it's Demo and Azuros moving that way. Towards the more eastern half of their side of the map, it looks like we see some movement from Dorset heading this way. We also see that Moy is heading that way, so it looks like it's going to be 2 players that way for Team 1. Then we do have Kabanoff in the middle of the map, getting some of that reclaim and establishing a central position. In terms of Team 2, we have 2 players heading northward for Orb and Seal Force. Westward, maybe some direction there from, I don't know, it's kind of hard because we have units from a couple of players, some air units more, so looks like it's going to be maybe Unleash the Beast, and then Team 2's Lieutenant Lich. He's up here to the north, though, in the middle, and he's sitting here with Okpuk, so maybe he'll transition this way eventually, but for now, it looks like Team 1 is running up unopposed in the southward direction. Team 2, no comms are there yet from Team 1, but there are comms inbound. And then there are 2 players for Team 2 in the middle facing off against Kabanoff. So not everybody is moving to the front line. Looks like maybe decisions are going to be changed or thought about or whatever the case may be. But Hasty sitting in the back line for now. And then Team 2's Unleash the Beast and next door Puck Jr. sitting in the base for now. We do see gun upgrade started for Team 2's Octpuck in the middle. In terms of extra additional mexes in the middle, center, edges, locations, wherever around the map, there's honestly not that many. We see a couple of mexes kind of dotted around the starting locations. There is a nice grouping of mexes here. Looks like it all went to Puck Jr. for Team 2. Team 1, it looks like it went all to Hasty, because again, they're probably focused on the air situation, not with the expansionary mexes, which makes sense. There's not really a lot of other mexes around the map, to be honest. There's, a couple over here, a couple of over here sort of thing, but in the middle, there's realistically nothing besides these two Trimex positions here. So kind of slim pickings for mexes. Reclaim, again, a little bit better, but not by much. And in terms of Convicom action, nothing as of yet. We do see Team 1 having to go all the way around, essentially almost to the middle, and then darting northward to get even access to this northeastern corner up there. We see in the southwest still no movement from Team 2's commanders yet. We do see that Demo is claiming this section of the western side while his teammate of Zerus is pushing that southwestern edge. Lots of Team 1 spam just to get out there and maybe halt some exterior engineer pushing in. We do see one lonely little Infinity. And actually it's a flare, but it's named Infinity, going after that T1 mech. Again, trading off in terms of one T1 unit versus one T1 mech. Nice trade there for Team 1. We do see Lieutenant Lich is moving along the edge there. Looks like he's getting some reclaim. He's also, there's some way avenue down to the lower section of the map here. I didn't notice that beforehand. You can't get there where he's at, the lower section, unless you go all the way around. So there's no way to get from where Demo is going, or currently is, to down there exactly. He has to take the long way around. And in terms of Team 2, we do see some pushing in the middle now from Octpuck. Kicking out Team 1's Kavanaugh for now. I suspect he'll be back soon. Looks like maybe Lieutenant Lich is falling back to intercept this, just because there is a lot of movement for Team 1, specifically Azuros. He's now moving up to this position after his units have secured it. T2 still being worked on for Demo there in the southwest. We do see the commanders for Team 2 and Team 1 are both present up here. We do see guns started for Dorset now. Maybe some assistance from Wade to help accelerate that upgrade. We do see Orvis pushing north. We're a little bit behind CO Force, but they're still getting there. And again, very similar positions that we see those sets of players at. Again, as a reminder, Team 2 does not have any commanders present here. Team 1 has only the one from Azuros, and then in the northeast it's 2v2. Both going for gun upgrades as we speak. Sensor package going for Azuros currently. Looks like Kabanov is going to be stuck in the water maybe for a little bit. T2 lands online for him, upgrading for T3. We do see a couple of units breach the perimeter. They're getting in behind these two commanders, but again, it's not really going to do a whole lot of damage. One T1 mechs really isn't something to be worried about, and it's firmly in Team 1's control. We do see a couple of units were transported over the little cliff edge here. One radar system is down, two mechs are going to be down. I mean, that's not really a big deal. It's easily reclaimable, not only in the getting the mass from it, but also just getting the position back. And again, that is one of the hard things I think with having players, in starting locations so grouped together, is it makes assaulting a base in any direction very difficult. And it does make it very devastating when you do have a, punching in and you wipe out multiple bases in one run. It really drains the eco of that one team. And especially with players dying, giving bases over, that sort of thing, it's not as bad in terms of, okay, now I have two bases that are, here and maybe up here. Maybe I don't have that much of a distance between those versus, a base here and a base all the way over here. You're constantly running back and forth and dealing with upgrades and units and whatnot. So it's a little bit easier from a more, APM conservation situation, but in terms of killing off just one player's base entirely, it's harder. We do see Nano started for CO Force. He has gun online. We do see Puck Jr. on a transport going somewhere. Looks like he's going all the way into the back. He's going to drop off right next to that T3 P-Gen. Definitely not the best place to stand, to be honest. And Team 1, do you see him? No, you don't. A couple of air scouts kind of circling that little plateau there. Looks like Moy picking up some units. And, ooh, that's still going. Puck Jr. is getting his way over there. There is one engineer that will spot him for a brief moment. And then there he goes off radar. Lol, says Orb, talking about what's going on up here because we only see Team 1's view currently. And a gun started for Orb, speaking of which. Transport has dropped off the comm. Going for oh no, there's a Team 1. Okay, he thinks he goes, that's probably not a good idea. Goes for the T3 engineers, try to kick out the engineering prowess of his opponent. He's got to get his comm just a little bit far and removed. He did have a deceiver online to be able to help protect himself on board that transport. I mean, it's not looking too great for him. P-Gens are going down. How's the eco for Hasty? His power is still fine. And pretty much all the PD are gone. Puck Jr. is going to try to get out of range of Team 1 PD, and that attack is going to get canceled quite heavily. Ooh, Chrono Dampener comes active. Don't know why that wasn't firing earlier. Overcharge, trying to help out, take out those P-Gens. Looks like there's a reclaim order and repair. He gets it off. He does get the overcharge after they stopped repairing it. Sorry, actually stopped reclaiming it. But one bomb over the top hits the comm. He regens back to 3,000 hit points. So he's going to take another bomb, at least at a bare minimum. And payload still not dropped yet. A couple of interceptors over top. Looks like from Puck Puck, excuse me. He's Puck Jr. And we do see a T3 AAM placement online. Bomber is inbound. Drops another payload. Still doesn't kill him off. Going to build some T2 PD now. He's still alive. He's trying to build a shield. Oh, he doesn't finish the T2 PD. Oh, missiles inbound. Oh, and he still gets killed anyways. And there he goes. It was a lovely, lovely attempt. He doesn't kill off the T3 air headquarters. That was unfortunate. But it was a lovely attempt nonetheless. And Demo's like, what happened up there? Team 2 suffers the first loss of the game, making it a 6v5. First comm v comm action in the north that I noticed. CO4 is dropping into very, very low red territory. Not looking good. He gets hit by an overcharge, and there he goes right after his teammate Puck Jr. And now it is a 6v4 in favor for Team 1. Team 1 scores first blood and second blood, I guess, if that's something that I'm going to track, which I probably won't from game to game, but first blood I definitely will track. And it's, again, 6v4. Looks like Orb gets both bases. He probably will donate one of those bases off to... Oh, he donates this one off to Lieutenant Lynch, it looks like. We have T2 Air, T3 Air, and T2 Air online for Team 2. We saw, of course, T3 and T2. Anybody else in the air game? No, not yet. So only 2 air players for Team 1, possibly 3 for Team 2. But Unleash the Beast is kind of splitting between land and air, so more than likely it'll be 2 air players. Again, we do see Lieutenant Lynch is on the front line. He's running around with some gunships. T3 ASF dealing with those quite nicely. Only one of them, mind you, so not really a big issue for Team 1 to just lose one ASF. He killed off a couple of gunships, but then anyway, it looks like the Swift Winds say no, and they deal with that pretty handedly. We do see Team 1 continue to push in, grabbing that Trimex position there. T2 Destroyer online for Orb in the little pond up here. Well, that's going to help out somewhat. Secure, or at least try to secure it. We'll kind of maybe halt this attack just because the Destroyer can shoot at them the entire time, even if he just sits there for the most part. Shield started here for Kavanaugh in the middle. He has advanced range online. Nano started for Hasty after his stealth upgrade. We do see back and forth between Unleash the Beast and Azuris in the southwest. We have T2 and Sensor versus Gun. So in terms of comm engagements, Team 2 has the advantage. And then in terms of just, versatility, utility, that sort of thing, Team 1 has the advantage. We do see Transport picks up Dorset and brings him somewhere. Looks like he's going back to base at a bare minimum, at least on that side of the map. And again, the momentum for Team 2 has dropped significantly. There's one little brick running around. Again, nothing too much being lost here. There's a Team 1 PD there. And there's not really a whole lot here anyways. I mean, the Triumph Expedition is going to be a little bit of a rough, unfortunate loss just because that is upgrading to T2. At least that one is. We do see the Destroyer actually falls back maybe to try to intercept that. Shots aren't going to be able to hit it because the cliff is too tall. We do see actually Dorset's going to land here. So he pulled his comm back and is sending it forward. Team 2 notices that he might be a target. We do see gunships still pushing on this western side here. Team 1 not really sending that many more ASFs because there's ASFs and Swift ones here for Team 2's Lieutenant Lich, so they're probably a little bit more hesitant on that. And maybe, not really an attempt on his life yet, because we do see some Redeemers running around. And Monkey Lord started pretty far forward for Okpuk in the middle. That might be a threat on Kabanoff's life for sure, but he has to finish it first. He's not even in the yellow yet. Southwest side, we still see Unleash the Beast pushing back or trying to hold back against Azeros' forces. One Harbinger is here. Overcharge kills off 2 Aurora. He's at 1-star vet. He'll get closer to 2 with the death of the Harbinger. He's taking a decent chunk of damage from the 1 unit, but now with the Harbinger now under his belt in terms of veterancy, is going to get to 2 and maybe even close to 3 with those units that are still sitting there. And Gunship's waiting for an attack order to be issued against Dorset's commander. They haven't gone after him yet. And now Kabanoff running around again. He has his that secondary shield. He has his first of 2 shield upgrades online. He's being a little bit aggressive by himself. Needs to maybe push up his Redeemers or such. Again, the advance range is helping out a lot to be able to drive Okpuk back, but again, it's one of those situations where it's a little risky. Okpuk needs to fall back. Again, he's within range of Kabanoff's gun, but not the other way around. Spider 50% says hasty, so Team 1 is aware of it. And that's probably why Kabanoff might start thinking about backing off. And he's probably going to be thinking about that at this point. Tac missile started for Unleash the Beast. Again, always go for T2, then tac missile in my opinion. But he is going for it nonetheless. Northeastern side, starting to favor Team 2 again. But again, a little bit of assistance from the Navy. Decent amount of assistance on the ground. There's not really a lot of focus from Team 1 here anyways. They got the kill. They slowed down the momentum. That's pretty much all they really wanted. They probably wanted the double kill, to be honest, but it wasn't going to happen. We need Omnis as Mui for Team 1. I mean, best places to put it, honestly, probably not here, just because they are aware of the Monkey Lord, and it's probably not worth it to put it there and then lose it immediately afterwards. Probably better off to put it in the main base here, or even... I mean, units can still get there. The Monkey Lord's going to have a hard time, but that's kind of isolated, so you might put it there. You can also put it up there where T2 radar's already there. Just trying to think of places where you could put it where it's in relative safety. Yeah, probably the frontline bases would be the most secure places to get the maximum amount of range out of it. Looks like some comments made by Puck Jr. saying, hey, send your gunships this way. When there's T2 mexes being ringed as we speak, so that would be a nice little scoop up. Azeros is still down here in the south, really digging in his heels. Wall sections, lots of Harbingers, decent amount of PD, some TMD, shielding. Not first comm, but technically first comm, but not technically first comm. Back missile still progressing. It's mainly T2 units. I don't see any T3 yet from him. And honestly, he's rooted to the spot right now. Those Harbingers can decently catch up. He's going to send the units in. He probably will have to cancel if Azeros pushes in, which it looks like he's going to, because that's, again, Harbingers with 1,000 shielding plus 3,600 hull plating versus Team 1 and T2 units. Yeah, they're going to mop that up real quick. And, yeah, he's probably going to die here shortly if he doesn't move. Even if he does move now, he's dead because those Harbingers will catch up to him if Azeros pushes. See the canceled upgrade. He's falling back. Looks like they're actually going to try to maybe go at it this way. They're just avoiding the comm to not let him get veterancy. But again, this is enough to just straight up kill him. One overcharge kills off that Harbinger quite nicely. That shield is down. It regens back up to full. Another overcharge kills off another Harbinger. And he gets up to 3-star, but again, he has PD being built now, which isn't going to help him. He has one Percy, which, hey, it's nice to see a Percy here, but it's not gonna work, unfortunately. Gets underneath the shield for just a brief second. Restorers are here, too late. And, oh, he's in the mix. He's not being shot at too much. Maybe he'll get a Rankin vet. Maybe survive for 3 to 4 seconds more. Oh, he needs one more kill. Doesn't get it. Harbingers are still pushing in. And Unleashed to Beast actually control Ks, but that's a kill for Azuros. That's a kill for Azuros. At that low HP, that sort of thing, it would have been, 1 or 2 shots from a Harbinger, and he'd been dead anyway. Orb gets the base. Probably this will be transferred over to Lieutenant Lich, maybe? Yep, there it goes. He might actually give over his original base. Should make this an orb triangle, I guess. But it's double base for Orb, triple base for Lieutenant Lich. Again, the downside with killing off that many players for Team 1 is that it puts more mass in the remaining players for Team 2. Monkey Lord is dead. Kamenov did get out of there in time and probably decently helped kill off the Monkey Lord with those overcharges. But, again, that is the thing I was mentioning earlier about with the starting locations being so close to one another is it's really easy for one player to micro multiple bases because they're right next to one another and not even like here and here. They're, you could walk 3 meters and you're already in that other base. It's not that far away. We see Air Grid Expansion using that extra eco. Again, he's producing 480, the most in the game. The closest anybody in the game is to that is Azuros at 330. Everybody else is below that. We even see Orb is almost at 300 with double base. So Azuros is ecoing very hard, and he's on single base. In terms of eco, Team 1 overall is winning. It's 1.2 to about 1,000. So I'll say maybe comfortably 200 mass in Team 1's favor. Map control at this point, it's Team 1's favor down here for sure. Team 2's maybe sort of kind of up there. And then in the middle, it is favoring Team 2. So I want to maybe side it just for Team 1 for now. Just because, again, this is down right here. We see units are pushing in now. There's not really a lot of counter momentum over here on the northeastern side. We do see a big boat, small pond, and he has a torrent. So everything pretty much east of that line is going to die, and then maybe even further. Oh yeah, he might even be able to reach that base up there, the little plateau base. Man, it's going to be close. It's going to be close. But we'll see how that goes. Team 1 not doing the same idea using the pond. They've pretty much already secured most of this anyways. It'd just be a mass sink at that point, putting mass and power and resources and time into a naval facility that really you don't need. You can just build T2, T3 stationary or even mobile AA and just walk it back and forth, and you'd have pretty much the similar effect. Unless you had cruiser missile tech, which they don't, because they have only Aeons and Cybran. So that is a disadvantage factionally for Team 1. And Team 2's Okbuk still holding the middle. And Team 1 not really making a huge effort. Honestly, Team 1 can just sit back and relax for the most part. Not entirely, but they can kind of maybe cut their losses up here to the northeast. Maybe stake their claim maybe this far. Pushing in even further. Again, resupply lines for Team 2 are going to be a lot shorter than Team 1. I mean, yeah, he is producing units on the front line very close, but he also is right there. So if Team 2 launched an assault and it was a decent one, he might die in it. So he just has to be careful how long he stays there. Again, 25 minutes, pretty far into the possible snipe attempt territory that we normally see in these games. So definitely one of those more riskier plays. But again, he has a lot of support. He's building AA behind him as well. He has some AA emplacements to maybe fall back to. And he can just get a transport and just fly over and just get back to main base. So he has some options, but it's still risky. It's like what we saw with Kamenov. The Monkey Lord almost got him. But yeah, we were able to kill him off in time. Speaking of Monkey Lord, there's one online here for Demo over here. I don't think Team 2 is not aware of this, and I was made aware of this on one of my other videos. The Monkey Lord has a stealth field generator. I thought it was a personal stealth. So that means that it can actually shield other units nearby. I don't know what the exact range of it is. Yeah, it might. Is the clicking on it? Is that the range of the stealth field? I wonder. No, because they're in Omni range now, so that doesn't matter. But oh, it's decent. I think it's probably decently sized. It might be that that Chevy Crimson Ring. And northeast, we do see a nice counter from Team 1, just sending in some bricks. There's no torp defense on board these Omens. There's a couple of torpedoes on board those Exodus, but not enough to easily eliminate those things. Ooh, I like what I see here. Nice little silencer on the line. It's definitely not a suppressor, for those of you who understand that reference. Definitely a silencer in this case. Most definitely. We do see commanders for Team 1 are kind of starting to get back to base, or at least stay somewhat secured. Looks like, are they going to go in the ponds maybe? Oh, they're just moving that way. We do see one of them, Moy's going to go into a pond with his nice little SACU hanging out. And Team 2 has pretty much taken up most of the stuff for Team 1 up here. And again, here come those bricks. And again, very smart tactic from Moy, targeting the units that have torpedoes and torp defense on board. Eliminate those first and then kill everything else off. And what's also nice is that if you really wanted to use the silencer missile that's on board, I thought did the silencer have missiles? Yeah, long-range cruiser missile. Yeah, they do. You can get away with it because there's a torrent right there, so you can kind of somewhat mask the missiles. Because when you have just one missile firing very far away, some players are able to be like, that's a nuke sub firing that. Where is that? Kind of thing. And we do see a Zeros from Team 2 pushing north, but again, that's his vector for getting nearer Team 2, is you can't go this way, and you no point going down there. So realistically, this is just a choke point for Team 2 to utilize. I mean, Team 1 has to run everything essentially through that, unless they go, again, all the way around this way. It's the only avenue, at least on that side of the map. This side of the map, it's just that, just because of the way the map was designed by the map generator. We see two GCs down the middle that will definitely outperform the Megalith, who is repairing currently. Is he going to build eggs? Is that what he's doing? Does he have a repair function that I just didn't know about? Maybe? I'll take a look at that in a second. I don't remember the Megalith having a repair function like the Mantis. Well, the Mantis assistance, like upgrades and stuff, that sort of thing. No. Says it was, though. Weird. Yeah, I don't see that listed in its abilities. Oh, no, engineering suite. But that's probably for those little eggs, though. Anyway, being distracted by other things. Those conga line of forces from Team 1 to Zeros, not really going well. But annihilating bombers, so hey, there's that. T2 Naval Tech online, and the UEF department has cruiser missiles online. Team 1 Zeros probably needs to start deploying some volcanoes to start dealing with that. But of course, targeting engineers that are on the move, probably not the best use of the missiles, but they're just passively shooting at them. So it's, we'll give him a pass. He's probably focused on microing his huge air grid that he's building. And strats and restorers and all the everything else down there. Nothing really pushing in just yet. Looks like the Megalith really wants these GCs to come say hi. They're getting it's back and forth. You know, obviously Team 2 wants the Megalith to come to them because it's a better engagement for them, but I don't think that's going to happen, at least as of right now. Do we have any surprises in the background? I do see an SMD. Not a surprise, but I do like to see those being built sooner rather than later. Another SMD over here. Love that. Getting two SMDs to protect pretty much the entire front line. And then, of course, protects everything behind them. Another backup SMD for Azuros. Love it. Do we see one over here? Yes. Wait, is that an Apocalypse one or is that a regular? No, that's an Apocalypse one if that's going to be that size. Yeah. So that's a nuke launcher soon for Team 1. Looks like some overlay of some blueprints happening, some templates. That's not going to gel well. Air grid expansion happening, slowing down a little bit, but a little bit more there for hasty little segmenting of the air grid there. Looks like the base of the north for Moy is holding for now. Has enough TMD to probably last a little while. There's again only one torrent here. The bricks actually come back out of the water. Looks like they're finally were excised by Team 2. And hey, look, a Fat Boy is en route. And, well, that's a problem. Either the Fat Boy will kill the base, or the torrent's going to kill the base, or both of them are going to kill the base. Something's going to kill the base, and it's not going to last that much longer. And now the forces for Team 1 starting to kind of coagulate down here. There's a Monkey Wood inbound. Not enough to kill it. enough to severely wound it, but not enough to kill it. You'd probably need maybe half a dozen or so more Harbingers. Maybe a dozen more. I'm talking about just strictly T3 units. And if the Monkey Lord shoots it like that, yeah, that's going to be an easy win for the Monkey Lord. Oh, yeah, no, you probably need, like, at least another dozen at a minimum. And that's if they were all firing within range immediately without any additional assistance. Because they do drop him almost into the yellow, but he does get one vet as well. So maybe even you needed maybe almost 2 dozen at that point. I don't know. Percy's, that's a different story, of course, but I think everybody is aware of my love for the Percy unit. Speaking of Percy's, we have about a dozen of those facing off against almost a dozen bricks. There's a lot of PD here, though, so adding the firepower is helping significantly. But that Fat Boy is not helping anything at all for Team 1. Where's that silencer at? No, it didn't die. It is. It's loaded. There is the nuke. Do not tell me you're going after that base. Are you? I mean, just to wipe it off the map, I understand that, but it's just... Yeah, there's SMDs here. Maybe you probably could have edge nuked something. Tons of restorers online. Team 1's ASFs went, no, thank you, Chief. Not going anywhere near that ball. Kaboom! They hit the megalith. Yeah, they do some damage to it, to be fair. Fat Boy needs to fall back. Transport has no fuel running around with engineers. It's like a ghetto gunship, only with engineers, though. Please fix this. So weird and frustrating seeing it. It never used to look like that. I don't know why it's doing that now. Because you can still see the regular tread marks underneath it, but it's still having those weird icons, like the weird mass and hydrocarbon. I saw it. I know. I saw it. There's a satellite. Yep. Orb doing UEF things. He's an Aeon doing UEF things. He's doing very long-range things. He has a Fat Boy. He has a Torrent. He has a missile ship. He has a nuke submarine. He has a satellite. All he needs is an artillery and a regular nuke, or some combination of those, whether they're game ender or not. And he'd have all of the long-range objects. Monkey Lord charging full send-in. Azuros has left this position. Again, definitely smart. He's up here. Looks like Transport picked him up. And Team 1 has not lost a player yet, being the keyword in that statement. It's still 33. It's 33 minutes in. I think the game's about 50, so we got still a little bit of time for the stuff to shake out. There's a donut online. Wow, Team 2's Lieutenant Lynch has really pumped out not only the AA department, but oh my goodness, the restorers are getting bigger. I want to know how many. Okay, he has triple-digit restorers. So good luck ASFs for Team 1. And especially there's ASFs there for Team 2's Lieutenant Lynch as well. And they have a donut. I sense bad things happening for Team 1. And again, this is partially, I think, driven by the fact that, A, he has triple base, so he's able to fuel a lot of stuff into just 1 or 2 projects. 2, there's more ASFs online that I noticed. Okay, for Azuros, I thought he was the only one. I thought Hasty was the other one, but no, there is some ASF. If they do engage, the only problem is they're going to both be hurting 100%, regardless of who attacks first or the turns. Or both are going to be hurting just due to the sheer number of restores and the AA on board and whatnot. The donut's going to die 100%. We know that. It's essentially that's just being the dangly piece of meat that hey, Team 1, come after the donut, please. Don't notice everything else behind it. Come here. And it looks like the gunships and some strats are shattering the land units that are inbound. I mean, you could even use the strats right as they get to about here. You could probably send the strats and maybe wipe out some of the defenses on the front line, or even try to wipe out the P-gens. That wouldn't cause a cascade, but there's some mass fabs and storages in there that would die pretty quickly from all of the explosions. Speaking of explosions, we see more of them inbound from Orb on this northeastern vector. So Team 1 has entirely lost a huge chunk of the... Well, I can't say the entire chunk. I'd say this chunk of the map. Just ignore this. Focus on this. You know, Team 2 is getting some of their territory back down here in the south. That's a nice Omni placement. It's very far forward, which is really nice, but it's kind of maybe easily killed. The donut doesn't want to go for it. The restorers could easily wipe that out. Actually, I don't know if it's worth the strats, but I think the restore is probably worth it. Donut's getting closer. GC in water, says Puck. So he's like, hey, watch out for that. Teleporter started for Moy. Maybe Telemazer soon on the cards for him. We have a couple of ASFs. Probably not the best idea, given there's actually a decent chunk of bouncers underneath. 2 megaliths versus 2 GCs. The range favors, obviously, the megaliths. The HP favors the megaliths. I think the damage per second, the DPS favors Team 1's GCs maybe slightly. I don't know the exact numbers offhand. But again, not counting all of the other things that are there. I'm just counting just the raw experimental versus experimental situation. And we do see Kavanaugh, again, pokes his head out of the water, goes, that's probably not a good idea, goes back underneath the water. Those strats, they're still not giving a call. Look at this. They're just waiting. The Fat Boy's over here. Looks like we have some spearheads shooting into the shield grid there. Kavanaugh control K over ASF's only chance to win air. I mean, they might not be wrong about that, but he needs to get to a higher plane. If he's down that far, he might clip a couple ASFs, but the explosion isn't super tall enough. Okay, he's going for Telemazer. And ASFs, looks like they're encouraging the fight. The restorers are coming in. The donut is staying relatively behind that line of ASFs. Azuros is going to maybe send his ASFs. Oh, they don't go all the way in. The restorers are just eating them up, though. There goes the donut. Okay, there goes the attack on the donut from Team 1. The donut's dead at this point. Tons of dead ASFs. And Kavanaugh's over there. The donut is down. It's just... Oh, the crash damage actually is tall enough, or the AoE is tall enough to kill off some of the restorers. Ooh, that's not good. Oofta, that did not look good. Is that an artillery unit? Artillery structure for Team 1? Yep, it's an emissary. No pigeons next to it, but there is one online. And look at that, just... Everything is dead. Everything except the strats are dead. And the base here for Team 1's Kavanaugh is pretty much gone. The land units, the megalith specifically, just ripped everything apart. The mass fabs probably helped out a little bit with some cascading damage. Team 1 still did, to be fair, made it out with about 100 ASFs, to be honest. And then obviously a couple more still online for Azuros and Dorset. Killstrat says, Moy, those are already dead, I think. Didn't they just get killed off moments ago? Abanoff does get killed off by Team 2's Megalith just at the last couple possible seconds. So Team 1 does suffer a loss. And it looks like some bricks getting in, but they need to get underneath the shielding. They need to get... they're not getting underneath the shielding, though. It's too late. The brick is going to kill off the remaining... Sorry, the Megalith's going to kill off the remaining bricks. But it doesn't matter. Even if that SMD was dead... There is a backup one up there. It is loaded. There's a backup up one there. That's loaded. So there is coverage, overlapping coverage, to be fair. Oh, I like this. Fat Boy shooting over the little, water chasm, little lakeside there, shooting this artillery. And the artillery is going to maybe... it did some work. There was some shielding being built by some engineers. I like this. T3 engineers probably built on the back of the Fat Boy, building T2 shielding to protect the Fat Boy, rather than just building parashields. It's not an immediate effect with building shielding, but it's better because the shield strength itself is stronger. Satellite has been doing some work for Orb, killing off a chunk of mass fabs and P-gens and whatnot. Looks like he's up to... Stop moving. He's up to 50,000 and climbing. It's doing very well for itself for one satellite. Team 1's not happy about that. Shield is down, so eventually we'll see maybe the destruction of that. There is a shield preset. 52,000 for the bubble shield SACU presets. That, I agree, is a good use of the bubble shield upgrade. I'm not a huge fan of the one on the comm. I know it's useful. Every upgrade is useful in certain situations, but I feel like overall the bubble shield, I think it's like 5,000. It does regen pretty quickly. That is the one benefit, but it's just... It's not really useful it's mid-ish to mid-ish, like mid-late-ish game. Like once it gets really to the late game, that bubble shield's not going to do a whole lot at that point. But the mid game, maybe if you can get it online a little bit earlier than that, it's more worth it. It's worth it for pushing with units. You have to be on the front line. It's not useful if you're just in the base hanging out. But, that's just my 2 cents on that. 39 minutes on the clock. Team 1 has lost Kavanaugh. Team 2 has lost, obviously, Enlist DeBeast, Puck Jr., and Seal Force, making this a 5v3 in favor for Team 1. Eco still favors Team 1. That's been roughly the same lead the entire game, or most of the game. They've been about 200, 250 or so. So the percentage-wise is not really favoring Team 1 at this point. It was a lot longer ago, though. And map control, I mean, it's... Nope, that did not mean to push that button. I mean, it's definitely favoring Team 2. Just with that line across the map like that. We have 2 Fat Boys pushing in the north. We have this base still going strong. I mean, the air was decimated for Team 2, to be fair, so Team 1 does have an advantage in that regard. But besides that, land map-wise, it's definitely favoring Team 2. But Team 1 does have 2 artillery emplacements. They're getting shielding and P-gens to protect themselves. So that's good to see that they're getting their assisting P-gens. And looks like they're going after the air grid, which that's a smart play. Take out the air grid. You can't produce ASFs or restorers in this case, and that way you can just go with just wiping out air and being done with it. Yeah. Let me know down in the comments who you think is going to currently win this game. If you haven't done so already, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, all the good YouTube stuff that YouTube loves to see. And oh, the bug is getting eaten alive by some cougars. That's a statement right in of itself. The bug takes significant damage. And again, there's some stationary T3, but the cougars really ripped those hit points apart. What in the world? Oh, that's what it's just going really high up. I thought, I was like, dang, there's an artillery piece online for Orb over here. Okay, he has a nuke technically with the nukes up there, which is twice loaded, by the way. He has an artillery and he has a satellite. He pretty much has all of the UEF things, different forms of it, but he has, and a Fat Boy. He has pretty much all of the standard UEF kit. It looks like they're focusing this grid from Azuros, which is not looking good. But this might help things a lot. Granted, the artillery is currently landing in that position, which is not good for Team 1. But, they can easily rebuild. They haven't even started construction on it yet, so they can always move it. Not a problem. We do see those donuts and us sitting over here. They might try to attack this vector, which... I don't know. I feel like Team 1 is prepping defenses more this way anyway, so they're just going to run right into it. But, I don't know. Para says, Unleash the Beast. I mean, it was barely started, so he's still in the game at a bare minimum, being the eye in the sky, the man behind the chair, being a nice support role, saying, hey, there's a thing here. Hey, there's a thing here. Hey, there's a thing here. Hey, you should probably watch out for that thing. Speaking of watch out for that thing, there is a group of ASFs inbound for not only the restores, but the donuts. Those are definitely the target, but they want to wipe out all the other forces first. Third donut is inbound. That's number 4 that he's built. Will he build a baker's dozen? I highly doubt it. Unless he goes for a Paragon, I highly doubt it. But the ASF count, not really looking good for Team 1. They need to make sure they actually target the same donut, which they do. They wipe out at least one of them. Crash damage will kill off more restorers. That's unfortunate. His ASF still inbound. Second donut has now lost its shield and taken whole plate damage. There are some bouncers down there. And second donut not looking terrible. Looks like there was some strats inbound. They got absolutely annihilated. Second donut. And how is it not dead? It's dead now. But it was just struggling to stay alive. In this little, canyon area. I don't know even who has the advantage there in terms of getting the reclaim. Probably Team 1. Donut's going to fall back. That's probably a smart call. ASFs from Dorset still giving him a hard time. I will note that's pretty much all the ASFs for Team 1. Again, they're getting more online, of course, but all of the ASFs pretty much are dead for Team 1. Team 2 lost 2 donuts, a ton of ASFs and restorers as well. I mean, it's more of a leveling out. It's more of a just zeroing out, I should say, the air units for both teams at this point. But 1 Megalith versus 1 Monkey Lord. The DPS does favor the Monkey Lord, but range, hit points favors the Megalith, and it was unescorted as well to Monkey Wood, so it wasn't going to win that fight. Looks like it also lost its compatriot as well. Nuke is inbound from the same Nuke sub. Again, it's already killed off 50,000. It got 4-star vet with it. Oh, that was an SACU. Okay, I do know Moy does have telemaser. He isn't going for it yet, but we need to keep track of that. We being me, I'm just saying it out loud. There's a regular nuke online. That's the one that we saw earlier that was being built. Oh, are you nuking the nuke? Are you nuking the nuke? Did he kill off an SMD? Oh, barely grabbed it right there. And another SACU dies somewhere. Are they going to fire another one? They're landing here. That's where the artillery is landing. Going after Okpuck. Looks like it's this Disruptor online. Where's that one online? Oh, it's right there. There's 3 artillery pieces right here for Team 1. Again, going for Paragon. There it is. Went right over it. There's a lot of stuff happening. I might just do negative just to keep track of all the nonsense. Megalith is down there. Another nuke is inbound. Did he put it a little bit further to the east? He could probably edge nuke it. He's going to clip and destroy all that off. Kills off an Omni. There's another Omni there. That's not going to do a whole lot. But he kills off all that artillery and the TMD and whatnot. That's a lot of artillery, mind you. That's a lot. Is it? Oh, it does have some range on that plateau, so the Fat Boys could push in there. But I think there's a couple mountains in the way, so not as clear to shoot at all the everything. But it does wipe out some defenses up here at a bare minimum. Does it clip some of those AA emplacements? That clips a couple. Kaboom! Kills off stuff. Makes it more worth it. Looks like all the artillery is focusing on Orb. Orb is probably not going to like that. He's sitting there as well. He does have his personal shield. No. Yeah, he does have a personal shield. I keep forgetting he's not UVF. He's Aeon. I gave the eye. First nuke out the air. Oh, there it is. Team 1's nuke is inbound. Second one is loaded. Is it going to fire right after? It's going to have to reset the silo. It's a waste so that players can't just boom, 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 fire 5 nukes out of the same silo. That is the benefit of having multiple silos, is you can fire nukes simultaneously. You can't really do that with one silo. And looks the nuke. Is there an SMD? Oh, you got to be kidding me. There's no SMD? They could have been killed off, to be fair. 45 minutes? I mean, it makes me think like the SMD was killed off somewhere. There's probably one up here, isn't there? There's one up there. Is it loaded? Yes, it is. The Team 1 probably strategically killed off all the SMDs, which is something I would do. Oh, that air grid's going to... Oh, and there's mass extractors there, I should say. Another nuke inbound from Team 1. Kaboom! Pretty much made sure it would land. That's 1 base worth of eco dead. That's actually the extra mexes that were in the middle there. That's not a main base, but it's essentially enough. It looks like maybe this map could have been... 7 players, I think, was a lot for this map. And the nuke is inbound. Unfortunately, the SMD is still alive, so unless the artillery can kill it off while the nuke is in the air... both of them hit the shield simultaneously almost, but the nuke should be coming into range. One artillery has to just sneak on in. And it should fire. Yep, there it is. And boop. Good thing it didn't miss. No, that would have been... Oh, man, I would have been upset if I was Orb and that thing missed. Oof. On occasion, the SMD misses. No, says Dorset. Artillery rains in. Shield is back online. And SMD is protected. Is there another nuke in that silo? Nope. And Mori, do you have telemaser? Nope. You're not. Oh, you have it. You're just not using it. Another donut's going to die here shortly. Bug is down. Fat Boy is pushing in. Looks like that Fat Boy died. The other one survived. All Arties here. Oh, I missed that. All Arties here. Says Mori. Yeah, targeting this. Yeah, that's definitely smart. The shielding somehow is still holding. Explosion. Where? Team 2 actually cut across the west, cutting everything off from Azuros here and pushing this vector. Ooh, the artillery. Target the P-gens. Target the shielding. Target the shielding first. Oh, there it goes. Doesn't even matter. The artillery killed it. And the artillery still... Wow, so surprising amount of shielding still holding, considering there's so many engineers here. They're going to build more shielding, but I'm surprised the artillery from Team 1 didn't just cut this thing down. I didn't see a lot of assisting the shielding. They're building more, but we do see, again, there are some of those mobile shielding units online, and that's obviously helping. He's blocked 14,000 damage from just with that one SACU, which is nuts. Shields back online. Did lose some P-gens. This one's still being built. And there's the assistance on the shield. Okay. It protects the SMD and the artillery pieces. Team 1, similar thing. No, you should not be targeting that. Target this. Paragon is live. I repeat, the Paragon T Infinity game ender is online. And it's going to be diminishing returns. Again, not diminishing returns. It's going to be delayed returns, I should say, for Team 1, just because it takes longer to really get it doing stuff. The Maybor, the Scathis is immediate. The YOLO's a little bit delayed because you have to load the nuke, but it's a lot faster than a regular nuke, and you can load those things relatively quickly. Paragon, it takes a while. You have to have the build power in place. There's more that goes into it than just build Paragon, get infinite stuff, you're done. It's not just that. Artillery still raining in on the counter artillery from Team 1. Are those missiles raining in? What? Oh, that's the... Okay. Shielding is being assisted, so... Team 2, how are we looking back here? I mean, this is gone. Where'd the other nuke go? Oh, yeah, it went this way. That's right. If Team 1 loses that Paragon, I don't know what else they're going to do, to be honest. Team 2 is kind of starting to enclose them a little bit. Actually, those forces from Puck push southward and actually going to wipe this entire section of the map off. Lots of engineers are on the scene. What's the reclaim like on the map? Oh, my goodness. That's a lot of red numbers. 300,000 in climbing. Reclaim. Team 1, 500,000. Team 1, again, it's a little bit inflated because of the infinite money glitch. But the Paragon is helping to get Team 1 over 1 million mass more than Team 2 in terms of total mass group. Pigeons are taking a hit. Shielding is not holding super well. Oh, those mass fabs go down. That's hurting the eco of Demo now. Oh, didn't change that back. Apologies for that. Salvation is online. Second one's coming online. And yep, there goes Moi. Teleports in. I mean, definitely a smart play. Wipe out the artillery. And that's really all that Team 2 had left. There's that one satellite there. I mean, they have ground forces, but I think that's definitely a sacrifice that is going to probably pay off decent dividends. Team 2 has one play, and it's kill off the Paragon. And again, the longer it worth it. Yeah, again, like I agree with Moi. Definitely worth it. You wipe the artillery off the board. There's some strats that are not going to go anywhere. Unless for some reason the ASFs all miss and the AA misses somehow. And that's going to be the next target for Team 1. 49 minutes on the clock almost. I mean, Team 2 is going to control that entire southwestern corner here shortly, but Team 1 has a Paragon. And they have 2 artillery plus the Salvation, plus another Salvation that's going to be online. There's really not a lot that Team 2 has. If they had more ground forces, they had more experimentals and just T3 units in general, maybe you could say they can push all the way in. But look at this. Everything donated over to Azuros, and there goes Orb killed off by the... Actually, no, that's a Control K, not... That's named from a P-Gen. Looks like Dorset still has his base. AC still has his base. Oh, it's just because Azuros inherited everything else from Team 1. That's what it was. I was like, he has a lot of stuff. And Lieutenant Lich's team recalls with the death of Orb, 4v2. And I honestly... I mean, he Control K because he can, but that doesn't count, of course. Doesn't count. That doesn't count. Game was already over. It doesn't count. But Team 1 wins the game. MVP for me, and then everything on Team 2 Control Ks. MVPs for me. I mean, there really wasn't one standout player that really did just, oh my goodness, he did so much work kind of thing. The Paragon, again, that definitely helped expedite things. It was kind of starting to favor Team 2 on the land situation, on the air situation, on the artillery situation. But once the Paragon went live and it, one Salvation was built, that was it. That's all it really took to crack this. And once that was gone, that was it. Because Team 2 realistically at that point didn't have a whole lot. The SMDs going down, that definitely hurt. Killed off some eco and some ASF producing facilities down here. And it just felt like, Team 2 had that one push, and they were still making some work over here, but there really wasn't a lot. And that's partially probably driven by the fact that it was, 6v3, and then it was 5v3 for, a little while after that, for a while. And then obviously it was 4v3 because Moy died and Dorset died and whatnot. It was a 3v3. But there wasn't really much remaining. Oh, no, Dorset was still in the game. Never mind. It was 5v3 and then 4v3 with Moy dying, not Dorset. Apologies. So it just came down to APM at that point. Team 1 performed more actions than Team 2, and score-wise, we were hardly ever focused on score, but obviously eco-wise, it was a hard hill for Team 2 to climb, and it was like, and then it kind of just leveled off, and then it went down. So let me know down in the comments what you felt the best moment, MVP, that sort of thing was. I honestly don't know if I have one pick. I did love the attempt from Puck Jr. I will shout out him. I love the boldness of the attempt for going after the calm, drop him in the base, try to kill off the air grid, or the fledgling air grid for Team 1. I love it. It didn't work, but I do love it though. So more unconventional things are definitely more, I find more entertaining than just the road same thing over and over kind of thing. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you haven't, why not at this point hit the like button, subscribe, all that sort of YouTube stuff. And I will see all of you in the next one.